Right after we got done with deadlift, this is where they would do a partner routine with somebody. Again, this is a quick pace. This is about 20 to 30 seconds. Break, we're moving, it's about 20 minutes. It's 4 exercises, 2 major groups. You got squats, deadlifts, and then you got the break up between the split arm. And then right over here, you have the reverse negative sit-ups. It's kind of a complicated move. And the major idea is they would sit just like this on the bench, just like that on the bench, with your feet out to the side. Somebody sitting on there right there, and they would lower their bodies all the way down in a negative state, counting down from 5. Their friend is sitting on their feet. This is to work the glutes and the hamstrings. It's a negative motion, and they would explode up with their hands, pushing themselves up, and then do a 5 count all the way back down. We do 3 by 10 of that as well. Really hitting them hammies and them glutes. First day is all about the hammies and the glutes, really going through them legs. Now again, that's the first 20 minutes of the routine, maybe 25, depending upon how the group is going and how the speed of it is doing it. Then we would hit about a 15-minute EMOM. Every day would have an EMOM to it. Every minute on the minute routines. I like these. This teaches these young athletes to get up to here and to perform at a consistent level. And that's what we're working on, okay? And so with these EMOMs, they're training them to that. We would do anywhere from 12 to 20-minute EMOMs is the way that I would do it. These would all be done with kettlebells or dumbbells. None of it we would do with bars. This entire routine would all be with kettlebells and dumbbells. We would play around with the appropriate weight to do it. Most of them would be 10. 10 is our big number on that. I really like to stick fundamental with kids and athletes. We might play with those numbers just a little bit throughout the week, but mostly for our EMOMs, we stick with the number 10. Really what we play with on the EMOM is weight. If they're just repping through the weight real easy with 20 pounds, then we go up to 30. If they're repping through it with 10, with 30, then we go up to 40, and so on. And we keep playing with that. The way a first day would look is we would pick 3 to 4 exercises, and we would do them every minute on the minute, and we would do about 4 to 5 rounds of it depending upon the time that we had. If we want to do a 12-minute one with 3 exercises, that would be 4 rounds. So we would say, real simple, first minute, 10 goblet squats. They would hold the weight as close as they could to their chest, elbow to knee target, big chest, big eyes, doing a goblet squat. We would set it down for the remainder of the minute. Then when it got to the 2-minute, we would go dumbbell swings, settling in right here. I love dumbbell swings. We do a lot of these. Right here, boom. Exploding up through the hips right there, really focusing on the hammies and the glutes, hitting them hard, working on that explosion. It's great for a young athlete. Then the next minute, I like to throw a core into our EMOMs. So they would do some sort of a core exercise. I'm real big on lawn chairs. Usually we would lay on the ground, and I would have an athlete, hands behind their head, meet at the belly button with their feet and their hands right there, keeping their shoulder blades very on the ground, all the way to the engaging lower abs as well as the upper abs. That's one of my favorite ones. We would do a core exercise with every EMOM. So that's the way our routines would look all the way each day. I'll go through Tuesday with you real fast. Tuesday is more of an explosion, upper body day. This is the day where we come in, we hammered it Monday with our lower body. On Tuesday, we would do a bench press series where we would do bench press right back on the bar right here. We do 3 by 10. We would stick with it. Week 2 would be 3 by 7. And we would go up in weight. Week 3 would be 3 by 4 or 5, depending on how we felt. And we would go up in weight, of course. And then week 4, we would start back over with the 3 by 10 again, going back to the 60%. And then each week we would progress up closer to our max. So we would need to have maxes to kind of have to roughly get this. But we would do a bench on Tuesday. A bench straight into some skull crushers. Skull crushers, I don't mind being done with a dumbbell if they have it, or being done with a barbell. I'm not picky either way. If they did it with a dumbbell, you would very simply lay on the bench, just like this, raising the bar up right here, just like that, and then continuing on. Like I said, as long as they got some weight with them, I think they're doing good, especially with young athletes. Young athletes, you can modify some of those things, and they're still getting good work and good results with what they're doing. Then they would go into a 3 by 10 set of hang cleans. Hang cleans. We would really focus on the part of keeping the feet under the shoulders, hanging the weight, staying loose, really exploding with the hips. I like this. We just did this yesterday with dumbbell swings. I don't mind doing it again. We're just changing it with a barbell this time. So doing the same thing, exploding up, dropping down, catching the weight right there, sending the elbows through. We would work Hard on that, hard on that. That's one I really don't care about a lot of weight. As long as they're getting that good explosion workout, we're going to keep working on that one. That'd be a good exercise. They'll combo that with dips, real simple dips. Depending upon the level of your athlete, here's a more modified version of the dip right here, all the way to the dips where you are simply elevating beside your sides right there, pushing up, going back and forth right there, working the tricep. So they get a real good upper body workout. Hammer the tris, get a little bit of bi work, get some good chest work, core work in that. Then they would do an EMOM with that series again. That's the first 20 minutes. Now we're to the second 20 minutes. On this one, we would do a thruster. Again, this is going back to the dumbbell series. So you can do a thruster, same exact thing. Basically doing another goblet squat again, but you're doing it, adding it with a thruster. We can go down in weight if we do this, right here. Boom, full thruster. Full thruster right there. 3 by 10. On the next minute, we would go into pull-ups. A real standard pull-up. Wide grip, good solid pull-up. If they had to modify it, I prefer the modification method to be with a bar in front of them or underneath them where they can just barely tap it with their toe. Or a band if you have access to bands. And I don't like the buddy system of having a buddy behind you. It kind of messes things up. So if you have access to a band or a bar that you can slightly put your toe on and to aid in that pull-up to get the 10 or the reps that you need, I would rather you do that. If you can, ultimately the goal is to not have to use that. Then we would do 10 of some kind of a core exercise. We would do ab rollouts, lawn chairs, a different core exercise. Add that in there. Do 3 rounds of that. On Thursday, this is just the strength part. We haven't even gotten to the condition part. On Thursday, we come back into the gym. Wednesday, they get a good break. Thursday, we hammer right into them on some power cleans. This one, we can amp up a little bit of weight from hang cleans, go straight into the same motion as a power clean, exploding from the ground up, popping, getting underneath, coming right there. Sliding the elbows through, hips up, chest up, weight in the pocket, getting a good power clean, working on them young athletes and young muscles. Again, not focusing on the weight, focusing really hard on the technique as we go through that. Then they would do this comboed straight into the same weight that they were doing with a bent over row. I like an under grip method. And I think it isolates the muscles that I want to hit more, because in a minute we're going to do a dumbbell series where we go wide with it. So we're going to hit those upper back muscles. So right now we get our feet underneath us, come up right here, right to the deal, and we simply roll up to the lower chest. Right there, hitting the lower lats, a little bit of bi, a little bit of tri work, doing good right there. Then they would do 3 rounds of that, going into the next series of a barbell push press. I like this. This is an athletic, explosive workout. Again, we're doing the explosion today on Thursday. Did the power cleans with a good bent over row. Now we come up here into position, and they simply break the knees and get a hard push. Push press, right there. Being really explosive with that routine. That is exceptional for your young athletes that need that extra set of explosion right there, working on those power cleans, working on the push press. They would do that with a combo of lawnmower pulls. Grabbing a dumbbell or kettlebell, I'm fine either way. Right there, putting all their weight on this front leg, getting in the shooter position right here, isolating the right arm, then in a minute the left arm, and pulling right beside, skinning the ribs with it. Same thing with the left side, skinning the ribs right there, really isolate that muscle, getting the lat again. Then we get to our EMOM on that one. Our EMOM for that day is real simple. 10 pull-ups, 20 push-ups, 10 burpees. We're sticking real fundamental on Thursday. They just hammered it hard with a power clean and a push press routine. So we go back to fundamentals on their EMOM day, where they hit 10 pull-ups, 20 push-ups, burpees. Can't get any better than that. A good burpee is a good explosion day. Friday, we come in and we do a neat workout. Same layout, we just change it up a little bit. Go back and we do a dumbbell bench instead of a barbell bench, which we did on Tuesday. So we're doing an upper body routine again. Grab your dumbbells, we sit down, we do a good solid dumbbell routine. Coming right out, I don't like a twist with young kids. Maybe I would throw that in with my advanced athletes, not with these guys that we're specifically training right now. I like a good solid press right there. Controlling the weight down, controlling the weight up. Again, I don't care about weight. I would like them to challenge themselves a little bit, but not as much. With a wide pull-up, I call this my push-pull series today. And then we have a workout that I saw that I like. They do that with wide pull-ups, 3 rounds, come back. Then we have a workout, and I have titled Tebows. The reason I call them Tebows is because I saw Tim Tebow do them in a magazine, and I fell in love with them. And technically, the name of it would be barbell single arm push press. That's boring sounding, so we call them Tebows. The thing on this one is they would real easily 45-degree themselves on the bar. There'd be no weight on that side, as much weight as you need on this side, probably anywhere from 25 to 45 pounds. Again, this is not one that you really do on percentages. You just kind of examine the athlete depending upon the reps that you have, whether it's 3x10, 3x7, or 3x4 that day. And then they very simply, the weight, the end of the bar should come straight up the crotch, belly button, straight up the chest, the chin, and then right when it gets to the belly button, that's when you do the core twist, squishing the bug with the foot. Right there, working on that core twist, keeping the weight in tight. We do not want the weight to come way out here and pushing it up. We want it to stay in tight and explosive. This is a well-rounded workout for any athlete. It goes across the board with what you can do with it. It is wonderful with the core, the twist, pivoting, the full body. Again, making an athlete a great cross-the-body athlete, which is a lot of what our point guards and shooting guards would be doing. I love this. A lot of pivoting, great exercise. They would combo that. Then on our EMOM today. Our EMOM is a little bit of a unique EMOM today. Today is 3x5. We would stick with this, but we do an isolation series. They do right, left, and then they do a right, left Turkish get-up. Real simple. 5 dumbbell snatches on the right, 5 dumbbell snatches on the left. Grabbing the appropriate weight right here. Exploding that snatch up. Boom. We really work hard on explosion on that. Good technique, good form. Right there, coming on up. Doing 5 to the right, 5 to the left. Waiting at the series. Then we have 5 swings. Same exact thing we've been doing. Going back to swings. Right here. And then switching it. Or you can even isolate it each one. Right and left, and doing it each way. After that, they would do 5 Turkish get-ups, probably one of the hardest exercises. With young athletes, depending on how they do it, I would start super light. Might even be 10 pounds. The main thing that they would be focusing on this one, laying down on that back, keeping the weight above the head, really working the whole body, coming up, 5 to 10 pounds, maybe 15, maybe 20, and coming up with it, sitting right there. You might even let them use their hands just in case they're learning this workout, getting it really developing their bodies, working it up, doing the same thing, coming back down, coming back up. This is tough to stay on a timer, okay? If you have to get off your timer a little bit on that, give a little bit of leeway. As long as they get about 3 rounds of it, I'm okay with this isolation series because it is a tougher series on Friday to do this. Now, this is just the strength part of the routine. The actual about 30 to 40 minutes of speed part that we would be doing would be nothing new. We wouldn't be reinventing the wheel with these young athletes. We would be doing a lot of things on the court and in the bleachers. On Monday, going back to leg day, it would be a real simple bleacher routine. What I would do is I would come up with a combo of exercises going up and down the bleachers that we would do. We would do different things like bunny hops, different things like step-ups, different things like speed feet going up and down, and then just straight up and down bleachers, sprints, speed, explosion, really working the muscles. They're already pretty fatigued from doing a good hard leg day. And then we would come down and we would do a simple thing like 10 or 15 full court sprints. And most of those would be full throttle on those sprints, really working those muscles out, trying to stretch them out. We'd come in on Tuesday. Tuesday would be a cone variation day. I would pick about 4 to 6 different cone variations. You can get as creative as you want. Sky's the limit on this. Coming in, setting cones however you want, coming up with a unique combo with this. One of some of my favorites are 4-corner, star cone, crow's foot, and teaching an athlete to go in and out of a cone system all within about 5 yards, about 15 meters of each other, not very far, and these cones, focusing really hard on change of direction, cross-body movements, getting to a location, hitting a target, staying explosive. You don't want to do more than about 30 seconds. If you're going through this series, about 30 seconds, and then they are at full fatigue because you're doing these quick, okay? When they do these cone variations and they're going through them and they're going all the way to a cone, then they're side shuffling through one cone, exploding to the next cone, side shuffling back, back pedaling to the next one, or they're even going on crow's foot where they focus on a left cone, coming back to the start cone, focus on a front cone, coming back to the start cone, focus on a right cone, coming back to it, all focusing belly button on the ball to keep eyes on ball while body is moving. Again, working those cross-body movements. We would work hard on those cone variations and going through those. Again, then we have even a chaos drill where you simply throw 15 cones out there and say for 30 seconds, I want you to move as fast as you can. It's chaos, and you are tapping cones, moving, boom, 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 boom. Every time you hit a cone, you're moving to a new one. And that's a great variation for them to have to learn and have to move through cone systems. It really develops agility and quickness as they go through that. We'd work on that. And then we might end that day on conditioning with, if we went outside, probably like some 100-yard tempo runs. What I call a tempo run is about a 70% of max speed, focusing more on technique of running, really stretching those legs out because their legs are totally wasted from Monday probably, and the cone drills that they just did. So really focusing on stretching those legs out, getting good conditioning in, anywhere from about 5 to 6, 7, something like that. Running through those. No more than about 30 to 40 minutes on that. Again, it's all within an hour and a half time period, strength and conditioning, all in that hour and a half. Thursday, we would come back on after we did the strength routine that we did, then we would do some, what I call interval training. We would pick, and this is again footwork stuff, we would go through ladder work. I love ladder drills. Picking your ladders, going through different movements in the ladder system, working on that footwork control, hurdles even. They can go through the hurdles on one foot, left foot, right foot, feet together, lateral movements going through hurdles, maybe even add a box jump into that one. Sleds are even okay on that day. Tire flip. I know that's more of a strength element, but it works on that explosion and keeping the ball going. So they would go through a series of about 5 or 6 different movements such as that. Then on Friday, we would do something that I call grid work. This is something a little bit unique. You develop a grid system with cones, and they go through this grid system. What the grid system is these cones are 25 yards wide by 25 yards long, and they are 5 yards apart, dot system through. And you have them stand each in a line at the cone system, and then you direct them through the grid a certain way, whether they have to go at an angle and go back and through at the angle, whether they have to go straight, stop, explode right. Basically, it's a fancy way of doing the cone drills that we already did on Tuesday. It just challenges them to do it together. It adds a competitive edge because you can put multiple guys doing it, and it's great work through the grid system. And then I would love to stretch things out and do 2 to 3, maybe 4, 200 or 400-yard tempo runs on that day. It's kind of hard with a basketball crew. You have to be outside and do something like that. But slow things down, come back about 60% of max speed, really stretching them out, stretching those legs out, getting a good run in, and then letting them have a great weekend of rest, maybe play a little bit of basketball and have a good routine. Cool down, we would do something real simple, a little high knees, a little jumping, a little moving around, just to cool the heart rate down, maybe even just walking. I like walking. Walking's a great cool down, and to get them through this system. The whole program would be focused on the athlete being able to train harder than they play. Playing should be the easy part. Playing should be the fun part. So we would work hard on the training. Their strength and conditioning would all be done within those 6 hours during a week. That's all I would consist of in a high school program for elite basketball athletes is about 6 hours a week in that hour and a half, 4 times a week, and we could get everything done that we wanted to get done, and then the rest would be focused on their skill set in basketball. And specifically with the basketball, a lot of the moves that we did would cross over into that basketball movement, and that's a neat thing that you can teach an athlete is how they cross over, how, hey, these silly cone drills that we're doing, how they help, how that 10 Tebow movement that we were doing, how that works for an athlete that's trying to pivot through and have a little bit of strength and muscle, and when basketball does come into contact. Great routine, great program for young athletes. Again, not focusing so much on iron, but focusing a lot on the movement, a lot on quality. And the mental game of it is really letting them see some success and seeing themselves get stronger, get better, move faster, and feel the results on the court. And that's what we focus on. Thank you.